Hey, how's it going, everyone? I've been stockpiling materials in the background here, and I did a little bit of stockpiling last night as well, so we should have enough materials to start doing the doubling of the factory. We'll see how we go. No battery suit, don't have to rev the drain. It's not the drain that bugs me about RGB, it's just the way that it looks. Just not a fan of the why is it that every single bit of gamer equipment has to be look like a prop from a 1980s science fiction movie. I'm not sure. That particular aesthetic I don't find appealing. I wish the people who design Apple products could get together with the people who design gaming products and combine the technical side of the gaming products, but the aesthetics of the Apple products. I think that would be that'd be absolutely perfect. Let's switch that off. So yeah, I've been stockpiling. Let's run up to the top here and also turn the gain sound up a little bit. I've been stockpiling materials. I think I've got all the belts together that we needed. Where is the game sound? Yeah, I think I've got all of the belts together that I needed. I did actually make a few little augmentations to the factory after I finished last night to get production finished a little bit faster on the belt side of things. I actually installed in this space down here a bunch of extra gear production because I realised that I needed way more gears than I was producing to make belts. So let's have a quick look at the stockpile of materials that I've got together though. Yeah, belts we have. So I think this is enough belts to complete a full copy of the factory. All of those chests are full of belts. I think we're still waiting on undergrounds, perhaps not. That's done. I think modules, yeah. So we'll probably work on modules for a little while here. These chests should be pretty much full, these ones here. So that's quite a bit of work. We'll probably have to make sure that we're producing circuits in decent quantities, I suppose. I also installed a bunch of extra module production as well up here, but seems to all be working. So I've also deactivated science. I just snipped the belt that's taking space science into the labs. But let's have a quick look through, see if there's anything else. Oh, still beacons. Roboports as well, a few of those still required. Everything else should be okay, I think. Yeah, so just modules, roboports, and beacons, which is pretty much all circuit related stuff, I think. Yeah, modules are definitely circuit related. Yeah, red circuits for those, and reds and greens for those. So I think we'll spend a little bit of time maybe ironing out any issues that we're having with circuit production, make sure that's going at full speed. We could probably start building out the new factory, doing it from starting with components that we have plenty of in storage. We'd also change a little bit. I think if we change these to passive providers, that should be okay. I don't know if there's anything that's requesting this. There's a chance that there is. We'll wait until we start building and then we'll change those over to passive providers. Actually, what we could probably do, if I use buffer chests, there's probably still some things that are requesting from buffer chests as well. Let's just have a look. Let's just switch one of these over to a passive provider and see what happens. We need a bunch of robots picking stuff up from here. Okay. That looks like it's probably the way we'll go. Change them over to passive providers. Yeah, first things first, let's have a look at our circuit production. We could probably uninstall all this gear production now as well, although we're still making underground belts. Let's just quickly check that. Which seems to have stalled. Why is that not taking those over to here? Oh, but this is full. Okay. So we probably don't need all that gear production anymore. We can actually just pull all that out. I'm just thinking about those headphones. One of the advantage that headset, the advantage is that even with the RGB, which I'm not a fan of, is that it's not something that you actually have to look at with headphones, unlike other gaming equipment, like keyboards with RGB. Obviously, it's always in your eye line, but headphones, you never really look at them, except when they're off your head. What are we doing? Active providers to get rid of this stuff, I think. But it's something I've vaguely been thinking of doing, getting another headset, so I'll probably keep that series in mind. So next time I actually do look to buy another headset, I'll probably check out that series. By the time I get around to actually getting another headset, there'll probably be other versions of it available as well. Excellent. We can probably get rid of this lubricant as well. We'll just disconnect it and wait for that to empty out, and then we'll get rid of all those tanks. What's next? Probably circuits, I think. Actually, that's looking pretty good. There's probably not a lot we have to do there. I did actually make some modifications to lubricant after I finished the stream last night as well. Down here, just to increase lubricant production, but we can probably pull that out as well now. I think we'll just switch back to a single chemical plant making lubricant. Get rid of all this. Yeah, that's actually completely backed up anyway. It ruins listening to anything else, just because it's better quality. I've actually got a set of really expensive headphones that I use for listening to music, but I typically don't use I've got a set of, I think it's Sennheiser Pros that I use for streaming, because they've got a really flat response, which is what I'm after when I'm streaming. And then I've got a Blue Yeti mic for the microphone, but the headphones that I have for listening to music are Hi-Fiman HE400s, which are not a cheap set of headphones, but I think they're worth it. For me, the mic thing was more interesting, and also the monitoring. That's probably what makes that headset notable for me, is the microphone quality and also the monitoring volume. I'm not sure what he called it in the review. It wasn't monitoring, it was something else. Basically the thing with a gaming headset where you can hear your own voice at the same time. It actually has adjustable volume on that headset, which is pretty nice. It's one problem that a lot of gaming headsets have, is that the monitoring volume is really quiet for some reason. I suppose if you're just using it for gaming, it's probably not super important, but if you're using it for streaming, it's pretty useful. Okay. Side tone, yeah. Like gaming headphones had to come up with their own term, they couldn't just use what everyone else calls them. That lubricant's probably going to last for like 20 years. That's fine. We've still got storage space left, I think. Yeah, we've got a bit. We could probably compress that storage a little bit if we wanted to. So yeah. I think we'll just duplicate module production even further. Get it done as quickly as possible. We're not consuming circuits for anything else, so if our circuit consumption here is not maxed out, which I think... Actually, let's go back down there for a second. I just want to see what my chest limits are on those chests, if we're actually backing up on circuits or not. You can see not very much iron or steel is getting picked up. There's actually plenty of processing units to spare as well. I think we could probably, we'll change these to this for now. We're probably not going to fill them up, but just in case we do. Sidetone's actually what it's called, okay. Maybe it's just the things that I watch when they use headphones, they call it monitoring. Sidetone's not as descriptive as monitoring. Whatever. We might actually be able to squeeze a little bit more red circuits. I don't think there's much point in actually expanding my module production at this point because I just don't have the red circuits to supply it. I'm pretty sure. How are we going for robots here? Yeah, plenty of robots. I actually dumped a bunch of extra robots in the network as well. A few extra 1,000. I think it is possible to get some more red circuits out here, though it's probably not that simple to actually get them into the setup that I've got. How would we do that? Actually, what we can do... that's... I'm probably not going to have enough belts for this. Let's grab a few more. No, I cannot play a different song, unfortunately. Because I get to YouTube, it will, if they detect that I am playing a copyrighted song, what I've found is they will actually just stop the stream. So, I can play a different song if I do this, though. Where are we? That is super quiet for some reason. This is stock music from YouTube, which is like 90% crap, so... This is pretty uninspiring music, mostly. And it's also not equalized, not normalized, so the volume's all over the place. I think we'll stick with this for now until I can find something better. Let's move this. See what that does. Yep, it's not on repeat, it's just a 3-hour long song. So if I stream for longer than 3 hours, it'll be on repeat. Interesting. So not quite enough for 5 belts, but enough for 4 belts. We don't want to like totally kill processing unit production, so we can't really just get all. Oh, there should be. The red circuits are moving at full speed, so there's no red circuits that aren't getting utilized here. But we're probably getting slightly more out than we were before. Actually, yeah, probably about like half a belt extra than we were before. And let's also limit those the same way. See if we actually get some red circuits backing up here. We can always check. I think actually if we check the red circuit storage, it's probably not going to show us the correct amount because there's stuff in buffer chests. There was a question before. Materials. Yes. I'll show you the... I was having a look at those before. The only thing that we're missing is beacons, so I'm just working on circuits at the moment to get stuff together for actually beacons and modules. So actually, we can get rid of these. Beacons is about 2/3 of the way there. Modules is about, I don't know, maybe a quarter of the way there. But we can start building out everything that doesn't. We'll probably start doing the building and just leave the beacons out initially, and then come back and put the beacons in once that's finished. So we've got all the belts, all the splitters, I think, all the underground belts, all the assemblers. I suppose we should probably add in chemical plants as well. I don't know how many of those we actually need. Chemical plants, not that many. 200. So all this stuff I can probably just. Actually, let's get. Did I get buffer chests? I did. A lot of those low quantity items I can just basically manufacture as I need them. Okay, so let's actually start planning. I've actually left in some defenses here as well because we had a few attacks last night as well from aliens. There's still pathing because I didn't actually fix this issue with the bugs out here, so we might actually have a look at that as well at some point. But let's actually start planning out positioning for the new factory, I think. Let's grab a car. Actually, do I have a car on me? I do. Actually, and also, let's get rid of this crap in our inventory. What do we need? Probably more rails. Actually, I didn't actually wait. Did that go as well as I did? Okay. What we're going to do, I'm going to go up the top here. We're going to avoid getting squished by a train. The bottom of the other one's going to be... So I'm not going to actually mirror this. I'm just going to basically do the a copy of it exactly up here instead. I mean, if I'm worried about pollution now, it's going to be even worse once this second factory is in. But what we're going to do is give ourselves approximately 48 tiles space between the two factories. So that's going to be the bottom of the new factory right there. This is going to be interesting building though, because I have to actually probably extend the robot network out to this location to do this properly, I think. So we're going to do this in pieces. I think I could probably do the entire train setup. We don't need to have this area in, so we'll do the entire... We'll probably have to do it in sections. And how is it actually going to line up? So we need to actually extend this. And this is the bottom. I think we've got radar coverage down there. We can just use a... Oh, not quite. Not quite. Whoa! That's about as close as it gets. Okay. Nope, further down. Good. Which one of these can I reuse? We don't need that outside lane because that's actually from the service stations. So can we get that much in? Whoa. Yeah, too big, not gonna fit. Or maybe we can just squeeze it. I think it might be too big though. I can't see the bottom rails that I used for the registration marks. I need to actually extend that a little bit further, I think. Okay, we can do it. It's like slightly too big. Ever so slightly too big. Okay. I suppose we could probably put a radar down there. We don't need to visit these areas too much though. Yeah, so we'll do it in pieces, but just more pieces than we were doing it there. So just the bottom part first. Let's just go up to just where the stations are. Actually, can we see that other area on the map? We can't. as we actually start building out this new factory, we'll actually be putting down radars at the same time. That's better. That goes in the middle. How are we going to connect this up? Where's the robot network? Okay, we can do this pretty easily. Let's just make a quick blueprint. We'll have to grab some roboports, but I think we can do this. Hey Loki, how's it going? Yeah, let's grab some roboports. We'll just make a quick chain of roboports to the new factory area. We'll probably end up with a few connections going to the new factory. I think it should work out okay. Actually, we'll do a new design for this. Let's grab those. Don't want to use that too many roboports. Been covered by that? It is. At the map. Yep. That's the factory as it stands at the moment. I'm just in the process of doing a doubling of the factory as well. You can see I've just started putting stuff in the top there. But yeah, it's all operating on a single train loop. We've got about 24 outposts bringing in resources. It's all running through a single bus at the moment. We're not doing any science at the moment, so everything's backed up, because I'm just keeping all the circuits for module production for the expansion that I'm doing. But yeah, all the major production's down here. So we have iron coming in for steel, steel goes out. Iron and copper going in for green circuits, and then green circuits gets fed into processing units and advanced circuits. And then all processing down the very end. And all the science is just happening in a logistics block. As you can see, no science happening. None of these are working at the moment. I think that'll do. Although I might actually put these closer to the edge. Now, the problem here is I think we're not going to have enough roboports, so I may have to temporarily kill the roboport requests in these chests. Let's have a look. That's got 100, it's requesting 100, this one's requesting 480, no, that one's full. So we're actually good for roboports, we don't need to worry about it. It's just, actually even this is almost done. I think we're going to be able to just start building out the factory for real. We're not going to have to wait too long. It's really just module production that we're waiting on. But once beacons is backed up, I think we're actually going to have plenty of modules, more circuits available to do the modules. Interesting. I'll let that build out by itself. So yeah, we'll start with the probably the rail stuff. Without this is the service stations. This is just like for building outposts and picking up trash and supplying nuclear power. These trains, that's not actually a part of the factory itself, so we can actually not include that in the next copy. We'll probably have to expand out nuclear power. Not probably, we'll definitely have to extend nuclear power, which is currently running at, I think, how many reactors is that? Actually, we can just check on power, can't we? Power. Doesn't actually tell me the number of turbines, the number of reactors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 64 reactors in total. Kill the request. Yeah, we'll change them over to. I can keep the request going for a little while, but because it's not filling them super quick. I actually did a lot of this after I finished streaming last night. I just left the game running for a while to let this fill out, so it takes a long time for it to fill up, especially the belts. That was a crazy amount of belts. But yeah, we can actually just change these over now because they're done, not being used by anything else. And I suppose we can just do that for everything, although I don't, some of these things like beacons, I don't want to change it over just yet, but as soon as the beacons are done we can change that over. Looks like Roboports is done as well. So, what we might do is actually change that to a buffer chest. So it's still going to request items, but it can be theoretically used for building as well. I've been stockpiling landfill for a little while as well, so there's a chance we're going to need some landfill to build out the new train network. There's a bit of water we have to build across. Excellent. This is actually not required, this one. And up. Where do we begin? I guess we do the rest of this train station. I'll probably have to put a few Roboports. What's their range look like? They're not fantastic. It's actually going to be tricky to do this via Roboports, I think. This area here is going to be tricky to do with Roboports. I'll probably have to do it with my own personal construction robots, I think. We'll try and do as much as possible with the Roboports. I prefer not to use my personal Roboports to do all this work. How much of a gap do we have? Yeah, I mean, where these belts are in the way as well. It's going to be interesting. We'll do the stations first, though. Yeah. I can't remember how I did this originally. I think I just used my own personal Roboports to do the build originally. The rest of this is covered with radars, so we should better just grab the blueprint from the map. We don't need that very outside one. Is that too tall? It is. Let's try that one more time. We're going to have to do it in slightly smaller slices than I was hoping to do it in. Let's just grab the stations themselves, I suppose, and the stacker on top of those. The problem is I would be fine doing it with my personal roboports, but it just, you can't really carry that much in your inventory, and your batteries run out really quickly, and then it slows down the procedure a little bit. What are we doing? That's here. Get those stations matched up. This area is going to be fine for power. For power and roboports. But what we'll have to do, I think, is get rid of some of these rails and run roboports up the middle here. So let's have a quick look. What's the range of a roboport? So yeah, we'll just make gaps in these rails. That's something that's easy to put back in later on. Like that should be fine. Yeah, that'll be good. And when we get into this area, we can actually put the roboports in these gaps in the middle. Although, maybe we can just put it through the rails still. I actually don't think this is going to take that long, building this factory. Although now that I've said that, it might take forever, but I don't think it's going to take a huge amount of time. I think actually setting up the outpost is going to take longer, and I'll probably, once I've got the factory built, what I'll do is I'll go through and actually do a sort of streamlining on how I do the outposting, so I can actually get that done a little bit quicker. Some charging issues there. Is that not getting... It should get built. It's obviously it's a low priority, but that's fine. We don't have to get it done super quickly. And then we can actually... we'll do this, but it's going to be slightly different in the new factory, this area. Let's grab a bunch of belts. Let's grab... Oops. Let's grab this much. Let's go from... Whereabouts? Go from there. Oh, actually, that's probably too big again. It's because of the vertical size of the screen. It's a little bit difficult to do that sort of size. Let's have a look. Oh, nope, that's going to be fine. Pull that out. I think that's not quite lined up, but I actually prefer this position because that's going to be a little bit better aligned with the belt, and we're going to have to run logistics all through the belted area as well. The stacker, yeah. It's always cool when you see trains going through at the same time. This is actually, I did this yesterday, and it's actually improved the output performance quite a bit. You can see how quickly the trains are actually following each other out there. Quite often they don't break. I mean, unless they hit the end at the almost exact same time, they tend not to break at all. Like this train will probably go pretty much straight through. Doesn't completely stop. These extra signals on this help with that, and it actually keeps the signals behind it opened as quickly as possible. Logistics coverage, slowly filling out. Do we have an issue with construction robots? We'll dump some more in. We don't really need that many at the moment, but we'll dump some extra ones in. I am curious as to why this isn't getting built though. This is in construction range. Are we not building any roboports or something? Let's have a look. It could also be the massive amount of construction requests that I've just put down. Sometimes that can cause issues with construction. How many roboports do we actually have in storage? 590, that'll be including these, I believe. These ones. Let's have a quick look at beacon production. Not beacon, roboport production. If I can find it. Roboport. Did I take roboport production out? I shouldn't have. Should be in there somewhere. Huh. Did I pull roboport production out? I must have. Oh, no, there it is. We have... There are definitely roboports ready to go. I'm not sure why it's not building anything. Oh, and there's some construction robots doing stuff now. Yeah, I think that's that issue. If you do really large construction requests, it tends to take a little bit of time for it to start working. Excellent. How much have we done there? Okay, so we've done down to about here. We've done those down belts, we've done the down belts. We've basically gone to about here. I think we'll do all the bus. Yeah, we'll do all the bus. And then we'll do the factories. I think we can grab a fairly big chunk of this as well. Can we get into there, I wonder? We'll have to go through and actually put roboports into this as well. Yeah, that'll be fine. I wish placing blueprints actually did a deconstruction request as well. Ooh, and we're going to need to remove this water. Interesting. Is there any other water nearby that we can actually use as a source instead of that? We might actually bring it from over here instead, so it's not actually running across the new factory. We'll have to redo this. Get rid of all that. Yeah, where can we run it through? Straight across there, I think. Let's grab some pipes. I should also probably include radars in the new area as well. So I can actually do building without actually heading out there. How quickly is that going to get filled, that construction request? I think it's because of all the stuff that I've placed down. That's probably going to be what's going to hold us back in terms of how quickly we can get this built out. It's just the weirdness that you get with the really large construction requests. So I think if we have a look at construction robots in use, there is currently none, even though we've got something that could obviously be built by construction robots. Ooh, okay, these are too far apart, that's why they're not getting built. So I might have a short break here actually. We'll let this build in the background. It's not a huge amount of it's going to build, but we'll get some of this built. As I said, it's just really dependent on how quickly the robot network is going to respond to the build requests, I think. We'll get that water reconnected. We also have to find a source of water for the new factory as well, which is probably going to be up there. We'll go through and do a land filling on all this area as well. But I'll have a short break and I'll be back in a minute. And we're back. How much do we build? Not very much. Not very much at all. It all has logistics coverage. There's no problems there. So it's just the network just doesn't want to build it. I think using my own personal construction robots would probably be a solution somewhat to that, so I think we'll do it. It's not my preferred way of actually building, but we'll get the belts done that way at least. Let's see, 500 of those. 200 of those. Do I have water trash? Nope. Stand a little bit closer to the source. And watch our inventory fill up. We suppose we'll keep the pipes for now. That's not actually coming from this, interestingly enough. We can request from passive. Oh no, I did. It did. Yeah, you can see all the belts missing there. So yeah, let's put in. Let's wait till we get into the area. We'll put our extra battery, and then we'll put the personal robo ports back in. Yeah, extra batteries. Look at it go down, oh my goodness. And I'm guessing 1,000 belts is not really going to last that long either. Okay, now it's working. Yeah, we'll actually keep it down to there, just so it's lined up with those sections of 8 belts. Nope, this one. Like I said, pretty quick compared to building the original one anyway. But I suppose there's no planning required for this, you just have to do a copy, which makes it simple, and also stockpiling the resources that we needed last night. It's pretty helpful as well. Let's actually put roboports on request. We can place some down manually. Obviously we need to stand in the auto request area for that. There's also going to be charging issues because there's a lot of, I mean, there's, especially the belts, there's so many things getting placed. There's going to be a lot of robots getting called out and probably not enough charging positions for them. So, how far is that going to reach? Let's get rid of those requests. That's not that useful to me at this point. I think I'll just concentrate on getting the robot network expanded through the bus. Are we going to be able to do this? The stations I may have to do with my personal robot ports though, because I don't think, let's have a quick look, I don't think we can get coverage with the robot. Oh, maybe we do. We'd probably have to completely surround it though, I think, with robot ports. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's going to be fine. Just have to make sure that'll reach there. Make these ones at the back as close as possible as well. Hopefully that reaches. What else are we placing down here? Signals. Okay, we might as well run through and place down what we've got, I suppose. Some substations. No, I'm just wondering, why is this so slow? It's because I've got no construction robots on me. That's the problem. The other thing we can do is place down radars as we do this. How many construction robots do we have? All in use. So yeah. I think I've had more in the past, but keep on dumping them in. And then now they're not. There's still plenty of requests, so still stuff for them to do. There we go. Now they're all getting used. Yeah. Probably not that keen on other things being brought out, but I suppose what we can do is pull out our personal roboports for now. Do I just want to pull up the rails? I think I'll just pull up the rails. Cheeky. That's actually the other thing we need to do is clear out those islands on the other side of that patch of water over here. So we're going to get attacked here occasionally. Problem is, this has probably been placed on a pretty low priority. Also, we've got a lot of robots just travelling cross-country there. Yes, we probably should put a few extra robot ports in that middle area, I think. Yeah, this area between the two factories is going to be a little bit of a mess while we're building out. Actually, I just thought of something. That doesn't work. What I'm doing there, I just realised. Because I didn't leave room for the factory. I'm going to have to move all this. How far down does that go? Yeah, this has to be moved. I need to start doing the building from the bottom of this, probably. The other option would be to flip the factory in blueprints. That would take a bit of work. What we're going to do, I'm actually going to go through and kill all that production that I've just done. I think we need to move. This rail actually needs to be positioned correctly for the bottom of this to have space on top of this. So we'll measure the space from probably about down here somewhere up to the bottom of the rail, and then we'll use that measurement from there to get the position for the bottom of the rail there. Okay. Let's just go remove everything but robot ports and power, please. Some of this might be salvageable, but I'm not really sure if it is, so I think we'll just run through and get rid of the lot. Is it not blacklisting? Blacklist. All of that. Okay. Let's also get rid of these cliffs while we're in the area. I'll at least put the deconstruction request in for them. So yeah, let's grab a car if we've got one nearby. We'll go down to the bottom of, I think it's Green Circuits is the longest factory. Let's also grab a little bit of landfill here. If I can drive this car in a straight line. Yeah, let's just fill up on landfill. I might need to do a little bit of landfilling down the bottom here. No, it's green circuits down this way. What I'll do, I'm going to leave, again, the same spacing, just fill that out a little bit, underneath this. So we'll leave 24 spacing between the top of signs here and the bottom of green circuits over here. So what we're measuring is this position. How do we do that? And the bottom of this. What I'll probably do is line this end up first. Okay. What do we do? So we just probably run out with the rails. Let's actually take the car. Tell this is a train I've never really visited before. That's fine, and then straight up from there. How do we measure this? Actually, probably from the other end down. This is all landfill area. Yeah, what we'll do is we'll measure from this. That is it. So, what we need to do is mark the bottom of, or the space from here that we're going to be building from, and then we need to line up this blueprint with the bottom of, with the top of this one here. So from this one, that position there. This actually needs to continue down a little bit. So it's sort of this, at least one screen's worth of height of these markers, and then as much of this as we can take as well. So probably just one screen's worth is what we'll do. We'll zoom out as far as we can. Just take one screen's worth. Still deconstructing all this stuff up here. Wow. Fortunately, there's no resources on these belts, otherwise it would take forever. Okay, we'll get our personal robots into the act, I suppose. Actually, no, it's probably largely because it hasn't been scanned by radars. Is there anything here that's... I've pulled the radars out. Okay, so it's probably further along. Let's put those on auto trash. Yeah, I didn't get the spacing right. I'll put it. I didn't take into account how far down the factories come, so it's going to be a little bit further apart because I'm not going to be mirroring the factories. I'm just going to be doing an exact copy. So the bottom of green circuits has to be above where science is on this one. Not a huge issue though. If it wasn't for construction robots, it would be a massive issue. Yeah. It'd be bad if I actually got like 75% of the way through building the new factory and then figured it out. Good, good. So yeah, at least we've got the alignment that we actually need now. I've still got science turned off. Might turn that back on again at some point. So what we need to do is measure at least 24 tiles. When 24 is just the arbitrary space that I'm using, but it seems to look pretty nice on the map, so we'll stick with that. So yeah, 24 tiles above this. Go for a little bit of extra space, I suppose. With that. And then we're going to use that for the alignments. We just run along with these till we get to somewhere that's approximately... Ooh. Does that work? No. That does not work the way I've done that. I know these are regularly spaced. So what I'll have to break this up into sections, I think. This will get us into the right starting position, but it's going to be slightly tricky, but it's sort of overlapping with the with the stacker on the previous stations, on the previous factory, which is going to come into here. So it's basically, that's the starting, the vertical position. That's going to be the bottom of the new green circuits. So you can see here, top of the science is basically going to be here, and then we're going to have green circuits starting here. And then we need to get the train stations lined up with this vertical line, which is this line here. And I think we can actually do that from the radar view. What we'll do is we'll place these every certain number of these things. So how many fit on a screen? Every 5. Although there's no construction robots, and that's fine, that we don't actually need to build it. Just the entity goes is enough. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, that's actually below where we need to go. That is fine though. So then we can do this in sections. What we do is remove that. Do I not have my... Okay. And then if we just repeat that a few times, how many times do we need to repeat that? Oh, this... So actually, we'll do another copy of it. So we need to do 1, 2, 3 copies of it. 1, 2, 3. So this is the bottom of the exit. So we can see this area right here where the train's coming out. That's the bottom. And then this line is going to be lined up with this station. Works perfectly. Unfortunately, all of this has to go. It actually means that the main lines are going to be, the main train lines are going to be slightly further apart than I was hoping for. I was hoping that they were going to be pretty close together. We could still sort of force them together, I suppose. We just have them exit, so have the main line here exit at an angle, like bring this all the way up to the top there, so the input line's up here and the output line's there, and also angle them up a little bit so they actually meet in the middle. There is actually a way that we can join both main lines together, but I don't know if I'm going to do that. So I don't have a way of controlling. So I just delete. I know it's down here. I don't have a way of controlling which factory they go to particularly well, but what I could do is, instead of joining up both main lines at this end, I could actually join the main lines at the other end. So have this exit go all the way down here, then loop around and then become the input for this top one. So basically you could convert the entire thing into one huge big loop, which might be worth playing around with at some point. Okay, so what we've got there is this position right in here. So we actually should be able to start blueprinting this now. Let's make a bit of space. And is there anything else needing to be cleared out here? I think we're pretty much clear. What we'll do is we'll get rid of these robo ports. That's what I say. So I don't pick up a bunch of stuff here. Let's actually do this. Is it happening? Yeah, it is. Actually, it's probably fine if we pick it up with our personal robo ports. We can always dump the robots back in. Okay, I'm going to have to do this in steps. Now that we've got that in position, I mean, we'll have a quick look on the map as we build it out just to get a rough idea that it is okay, but yeah, I think that looks like plenty of room. If absolutely worst comes to worst and I build this out and it turns out I didn't leave enough room, what I can do is actually move where the science is. Give us a little bit more space there. But I think I've got it right. Put these robot ports back in as well. Don't really need these ones in here anymore. Come on, lazy robots, do your job. In terms of landfilling, what do we need to do here? All of this needs to be landfilled, so we're going to fill the car up with some landfill in a second and do that. It's actually getting robots across. Yeah, we don't have a radar. We'll put some radars into this. So let's double check. Do we actually have a logistics connection to the factory there? We do. Ooh, did I double up on something there? What have I done wrong? Something's not right there. Let's have a look. These ones, this is too wide. All wrong. What did I get wrong there? I didn't line up properly. Excellent. It's pretty easy to get things lined up in this this area because there's where these belts cross over. It's a pretty good guide. So the pipes over there. More bugs. Where are they? Ooh, they might be. Let's put that down there. They might be slightly out of range. You can always just put a roboport down there, I suppose. Fortunately, that's going to be a pretty low priority. They're going to chew their way through a lot before that gets built, I think. We may have to go down there and sort that out. So I think they're going to actually cause a bit of damage. Where's my car? I parked it way over there. Okay, let's just run down. I mean, I've got my legs in. They're really chewing their way through, aren't they? And we'll get rebuilt eventually. How many construction robots? There's plenty of construction robots free. The material should be available as well. Did I misalign that again? I did. How am I getting that so wrong? I might actually step back here for a second and just see what I'm doing, because I think I might be getting this whole thing misaligned. There. Yeah, that's terrible. How did I get that so wrong? All the way down to there. Let's check the area where the pipes are. Yeah, that's correct. I suppose if we work from the pipes, that's probably the safest way to do it. So that way I at least know it's going to be lined up. The rest of it's pretty generic looking. I thought there would be enough distinguishing features in the other areas to make it... oh, I don't know what I just deleted there. I thought there was enough distinguishing features to actually blueprint from that, but apparently not. I wonder if we can get that much in. No, we cannot. That was a little bit optimistic. We're pretty close to getting that in though, aren't we? Yeah, that gives me all the belts and all the station positions. Doing it that way. Then we can go through... oh, this is all wrong. We have to do the stations separately. Let's get rid of all that. It's still waiting to get... it's waiting for modules. Are we using anything else here? Not really. I suppose I could probably start using those rails. Might be an idea. That's full, that's fine. These are full, so we can start using those. And same with that. I think all those are fine. These are not, so I'll have to wait still. Okay. I think if we're careful, we should be able to do this from inside the factory. I don't think we actually have to go out there to do most of this work. I should have done a version of this with a radar in it as well. So you want to always just pull out one of these roboports, change it for a radar. Sounds like we had some visitors. And what we'll do is we'll get rid of that and we'll put a radar in there instead. And we'll probably have to put more roboport connections in between there as well. I don't know if we need that really big block of roboports, so we can probably get away with something a little bit smaller than that. We'll see what happens when we start actually building out the belts. And also we need to do... that one should be fine. That one needs power. Although that might be pretty close to the stations actually. I think it'll be just above where the stations are. Should be okay. We're getting robot chaos down here? Yeah, we are. Okay. We need more sections of roboports. I just wonder if we can get away with a small thing. We do have plenty of roboports available. We might... These ones are not too bad. There's still a lot of traffic going there, so probably just one or two in the middle here. We'll find the spots where they're turning back, I suppose. Put one of these down. Excellent. Okay, that's fine for power. This one needs power as well. Actually, did I miss a... I did, I missed a position in here. I thought I got the top of that. Oh, maybe it didn't let me place it because there was no radar coverage. That's probably what's happened there. Let's try that one more time. As we dip down to very low FPS. That's better. And then we'll run the robots around the outside here. Are we lacking robots? Kind of, sort of we are. Interesting. It's got to be a charging issue more than anything. Yeah, we're getting robots turning back. Again. They're actually returning robots. Is that not... Oh, that's slightly not centered, is it? Interesting, it is actually close enough to reach that, but it's not actually... Oh, it's not, it's too far away. So this mustn't be centered. I must have this off center. Yeah, I do. Okay. How many robots do we have free? None. We'll wait for this area to get built, then we'll do the top of that. So we're still getting some charging issues. Okay. Yeah, all I'm doing here is just finding the positions where the robots are turning back and then putting in roboports in those positions. Although I need to also have the ones that actually join together as well. Did that not work? Oh, these ones need to be installed as well. I've got plenty of logistics robots available, so they should get brought to me pretty quickly. The replacement roboports. Okay, so let's get the car full of landfill. We'll landfill in those patches of water while we're waiting for this to build out. Where did I leave that car? Probably a single car's worth will be enough. I've actually got the factory disconnected from water at the moment as well, so you might need to go back and connect that up. We'll run the water pipe for the for this factory through from here. I'm just going to stay in the car, set a request for 2000 landfill. Let's get a little bit close to the actual landfill. And let's also empty out the trash there. That's the same one, pretty sure. Okay, hopefully that's enough. Also, we'll probably I can put in the request for these for this cliff destruction. I suppose what we'll do. My personal roboports are not in, so if we go, actually, I don't want to spend. I don't actually want to pick up all that wood. So let's just do one of these. I wish they got rid of the cliffs as well. It gets rid of most of the trees in that area. Yeah, because this is actually going to be where the green circuits are going to go in that location. Hello, friends. Okay, here we go. Time to squish some bugs. Oops, out of my way, pipe. Here we go. So yeah, that's pretty much all of this is going to have to be landfilled in as well. But we'll worry about that a little bit later on. Good. That line there we don't need, so that's fine, staying like that. Let's actually run down here so we actually get coverage at the top of the stacker as well. I think we can actually get quite a bit here. If we go from there all the way up. Oh, yeah, there is that, I suppose. There's no radar coverage up there. So most of the stations are built out though. So yeah, we can feed the main line out from down there, push that one up there. I probably will move this across so the main lines are a little bit close together, I think. There's no real reason we need to do that, but it'll just make travelling between the two main lines a little bit quicker if we have them closer together. What is the time? We'll have another short, yeah, we'll have another short break here. So we're almost done with the train depot and the new factory. Then we'll just need to build out the bus and put in the factories. I think we should get it, if not finished, a pretty decent start on the factory itself. I think it's going to take a bit more landfilling. We do have quite a bit of landfill backed up, so we should have plenty of landfill for that. But yeah, I'll have a short break and I'll be back in a minute. And we're back. Did any more of this get completed while we're gone? Yep, looks like pretty much all of it. Excellent, except for this area up there, which is just beyond range, so... Which one of those is lined up? Is it that, or is it that? I think it's that one. Although it's not really going to work for these ones anyway, let's just put it in anywhere, I think. And we also have radar coverage for that as well, so we can put this blueprint, this one here in again. Give us a little bit more of the stacker. We'd have to extend the radars, the construction robots up to there as well. Although that's probably something I could do with my personal construction robots to some degree. To speed things up a little bit. But I think it's time to start building out the bus side of things. Give our construction robots some work to do. Get rid of those signals, don't need that. So we don't need to worry about this rail, but we'll start filling out the bus. We'll put in robot ports and radars as we go as well. This is just to get the position at the start of it, and then we can start filling out the rest of it. Actually, it's going to be slightly not particularly useful to do it that way. Pipes. I think we can use this still. It's a little bit awkward because the screen's so much wider than it is tall. That's for that, so that's fine there. Yep. Don't need any of this. Super easy. And that all this is out of construction range, I think, this stuff up the top. Yeah, it is. Yeah, we'll have to add in more robot ports across this middle section as we start building out the bus. Well, the game almost paused then. I don't think that's going to reach all the way to the other side of that, so I'll have to put... Let's wait for these ones to power up. We'll have to put the robots over here, I think. Actually, no, we can put it in the middle here. I think that's where I had it before. Yeah. Doesn't quite work for that one, though. What sort of coverage does that one get us? That'll actually be enough. What's going on there? Is it like... There's nothing in the way, I don't think. Oh, there is the belts. We're just going to be building straight over the top of this patch of oil. It's not a huge one, so it's not a big loss. There's much bigger oil patches around on the map. I think there's some huge ones down here somewhere. When we're doing scans the other week. Yeah, 20,000, for example. 14,000, so there's plenty of oil on the map. At a certain point in expansion, you don't really need that much more oil anyway. I think we just need to find out again where the robot's turning back. I'm just waiting for this one to get powered up. Let's actually run up there and put the power in manually there, rather than waiting for these electric poles to go in. They've obviously been put at a fairly low priority because of all the other build requests that are in the system. So it's probably going to try and build all of the belts first before it tries to build any of these roboports and radar setups. We'll just go through and place a few of those manually. Where? They seem to be really going for these roboports, so just put in the defensive walls whenever we see that happening. They seem to be going for the ones much closer into the factory as well. I suppose that's where the pollution is. They might not be able to differentiate between the factory and just obstacles in their way. I don't think they really care. Looks like they're mainly going after the robots anyway. Okay, we've got a few more plugged in. Again, it's going to take a little while for that to actually get filled. There's plenty of stuff to get built in the meantime though. I think what we might do is give this a little bit of a helping hand. Oops, I've got auto trash. Don't do that. Give me all the belts, yeah. Let's put our personal roboports in. We'll give this a little bit of a help. Why is it not joining up to the one below it? It's too far away. Okay. Yeah, I think probably a combination of personal roboports and fixed roboports is the way to go for this. How much did we actually get in there? Okay. Again, the game just about pauses. We'll go back and get some more belts in a second as well. Landfilling dough. So, yeah, pretty much all of... I don't know exactly where we're going to get the water from for the ore processing. Probably over here somewhere, I think. But yeah, I think we'll landfill in most of that area. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, well, at least everything level with the bus can be landfilled in. That's pretty much a given. Actually, let's get rid of that request. We'll place down the ones that we've received, I suppose. What are we going for? Beacons. Is it finished? Oh, it did finish. Actually, yeah, I think everything is finished except for modules. It's still going. So I might, we'll do a bit of building here. I need to go back and check modules just to make sure that's still working. Yeah, got some friends. I'm leaving a trail of robots behind me, but I don't care. And I think that's it for my for the belts that I had on my personal inventory. And we can finish off that top of that train station as well. But I'm just going to go have a quick look at circuit production just to make sure that's still going fine. So like I said, it's sort of the main thing that'll be slowing down module production. Actually, did I delete that one with all the stations in it? I think I might have. There's actually not that much to that area. Yeah, let's have a quick look at circuit production, make sure that's still going fine. So we can do that from the map view. Mainly red circuits, yeah. Oh, no, it's not doing fine. Purple circuits is, processing units is completely stopped. Okay. Which is probably something to do with oil. I don't think I've disconnected oil, but we'll have a look. We can do it from here. Why are we not getting processing units? No sulfuric acid at all. Because of no iron, probably. No iron. Because of a belt that's been removed. I don't have logistics coverage in there, so I'll have to go down there and do that manually. Oh, it doesn't reach. Nice. That then, I suppose. Yeah, there's a lot of roboports we need to put in that gap there, isn't there? And have a look at that. That's quite a distance away as well. So it makes sense if we'll get this area, get the belt, the bus, and the science area finished first, and then we'll do the factories last. What do I need to do? So processing units is back on. We need to get finished doing some land filling. Left it in this car here. It'd make more sense to actually put these in first, I think. And then just fill the gaps later on. Not that many construction robots in use. It's probably just waiting for charging positions, perhaps. That is in construction range, so that should be okay. We're not out of radars, are we? No. Actually wait for these rubber ports to go in first, then we'll put the belts in. I wonder how we're going for modules. It's been a little while since I've looked. 2.4k, it's only half full. About a third full. Yeah. These are still going, I think, yeah. Still tuning out the modules. It should be done by the time we finish building out the factory. It looks like we're just getting some charging issues in the gaps in between there. Yeah. Okay, let's put in a few extra rubber ports in the middle then, I suppose. Just go straight down from here, I think. Should be fine. It's going to take a little while for that to get built, but I think it'll be okay. I think that's in construction range. And I think those chests with the rubber ports are ready to go as well. Yeah, they're passive providers, and there's plenty of rubber ports there. Place some of them manually, I suppose. Get the process started. There's plenty of construction robots that are free. I suppose the thing is it has to actually go through and build some of the robo ports before it's even going to start working. Looks like it's just about ready to go. We'll wait for these to be in place, then we'll put in the belts. If I do the belts before I get these rubber ports, it could be an issue. Looks good enough. So we didn't get the whole way through that this bend here. How far did we get? About to this gap. get the wrong... Did I copy the wrong area there? Okay, I can see what's going on. It's this over here. Again, as the game almost pauses as I place down all those belts. We should see a bunch of robots flying across this this gap here in a second. Not ideal positioning, but it'll be okay. How many robots? Yeah, all the construction robots getting used. Give it a few more. And then we'll later on we'll go through, pull out the robot ports and place the belts that are missing. When we get to this area though, we can actually just use the robot ports that are in the design, which are probably getting pretty close to that as it stands at the moment. I might actually be able to start putting some of this in. Did I get any of the pipes in with that last blueprint, I wonder? Not really. We can actually get rid of that. Although I'm probably going to put it down again. We can clean it up later on. Let's pull that out. What I think I'll do is actually include, where are we? The bottom section of this science area. If we go, we don't actually need those pipes. If we do that, because they'll actually connect up those robo ports, which will actually let us start building up the science at the same time as well. Wow. A lot of charging issues. Actually, it's not doing that bad. Where these robots are placed is probably okay. There is a few robots queued up, but it's not too bad. They're probably sawtoothing a bit, like they're sort of coming down this way, then they're running out of charge and then coming back. But I don't think it's doing it too far. But it's pretty close to where we're actually building from. You can see that's actually getting filled in pretty quickly. How much more do we need to do? Almost at the end of the bus there. Just a little bit more to go. Yeah, so we'll do the science and the labs first, and then we'll go down and do the factories next. I think it's actually coming along nicely. The question is going to be, when I actually start plugging this in, is it going to like absolutely kill the EPS? A little bit worried about that. So we'll extend the robot ports a little bit further down here. And it's actually getting done pretty quickly. And we're starting to get the start of the sign, so that's probably a sign that we need to go grab some more landfill and back into trees, and let's go that way instead. Where are we? I want to get a bit close to where the landfill is coming from. Actually, there's enough robots in the network that I can just basically do this from anywhere. I don't need to be super close to where the landfill is. Just park there. We're just going to request, again, a whole bunch of landfill. To put some of those 7,000 robots in the network to use. Although, the problem with being parked there is that there's no robots to recharge. So it is probably worthwhile heading down here a little bit closer to the actual source. Excellent. Inventory is full of crap. Shouldn't really be deconstructing stuff as I head up here, I suppose. Okay, we'll probably get a better idea of how much of this water we need to fill in now. Quite a bit, quite a bit. So probably that entire thing just about over to... Yeah, so basically we'll just fill that in, we'll just go straight up from there. And probably... No, another attack. And we'll also have to put in some defences. Once we've got this built, before we actually turn it on, we'll have to go up to the top left here and actually clear out all these spawners. This is actually going to dump a whole bunch more pollution into the map when we turn this thing on. Where's my car? I think about out to there was fine. And how high up do we want to go? So we can actually probably tell from the bottom of this station. No, we can't. Actually, we can tell from this position. So it's going to be about up to here. So pretty much where this bottlenecks, all the way up to there. That is a lot. Oh my god. Yeah, this is going to be a few trips with the car. I think there's not going to be a single trip. It's a lot of landfill. I've got plenty of landfill to do it with, but... Let's actually just define the area that we need to fill first, and then we'll make it, filling it in a little bit quick if we do that, I think. It's like up here somewhere. Maybe a little bit higher. I think we'll actually fill in from the bottom first. Now we can actually start building the labs. Oh, this is already starting to make signs. That's kind of unintended, but I think it'll be okay. It'll only fill up the chests that are in there, so that'll be okay. It's not actually going to output it to anything. Although that will actually output... Actually, probably won't, because I think all the requests for the science has actually been met. So we should be okay there. Looks like most of those belts are done, if not all of them. Yeah, we'll get the science area finished first, then we'll do the factories down the bottom. It's going pretty quickly, this. I was worried it was going to take multiple streams and take me forever to actually get to the point of starting the outposting again. Missed a bit. They're the little tricky single tile patches of water that you miss until the very end, because they don't really show up. There we go. I might have actually overdone it slightly in terms of landfill production as well. Although, we'll see, because I do actually need some landfill for doing the outposting as well. I think we're just about ready to put the signs in there. Yeah, I think that's ready to go. This is... we probably need to put more roboports in because I think it's going to kill the roboports a bit. Let's put in a few extra sets of roboports across the middle section here. Okay. That's more than we need. Let's just take just the signs for now. Which is... we'll leave the rocket solos out as well. So we can get all this as well, perhaps. Oh, actually, I didn't get all of it, I don't know. It's actually a bit wider than the belts. Oh, this is going to be one of the ones that's not it's too big to be placeable, isn't it? Where are those tanks? Right there. Oops, where's the car? Where'd I leave the car? Okay. And this area wasn't covered by the radar. I don't think I've got... I do actually have radars through this thing as well, so that's fine. And then we just need to we'll get some more landfill. We'll finish landfilling in that patch of water above. That's where the labs are going to go. We don't actually really need to fill... Actually, we've already filled... Do I actually need to fill that in? I don't. I can actually use that as a source of water as well, so we might just leave that in there. And also this area. So we need to get water for the oil production, so we'll probably use... That might need to be landfill, so we might get the water from over here somewhere instead. We'll see. That set a lot more robots into action. We totally maxed out on everything now. Robot consumption, power consumption is probably crazy at this point. Still not too bad, just under 1 gigawatt. We're not consuming power for signs at the moment. I think we probably would run out of power if we were trying to do signs and this build at the same time. Oh yeah, I just realised we're not going to get this landfill particularly quickly because all the robots are probably in use. That's getting built out pretty quickly though. got RoboPort connections across there, so that's going to get done pretty quickly. Just need to fill in this blank area in the corner here. Down to 10 FPS. Yeah, there's still a little bit left to go in the corner. So what you would do is, I mean, you'd have to have a supercomputer to do it, or at least a much better computer than mine. If this works and you don't, the UPS doesn't go down too far, then you could basically do a mirror copy of both of these, flip them so they're facing in the other direction, and then do it for the other side of the map as well. Because this factory is getting serviced by the bottom left corner of the map. This one's going to be serviced by the top left, and you can do the other corners of the map as well. Yeah, still all... Actually, there's some construction robots free. All the logistics robots are busy, though. I guess all these chests are getting taken items. And also modules. So we may probably be waiting on module production to finish off this factory. We're actually going to lose a little bit of materials because some of these are not going to have productivity modules in them. Yeah, we'll get the top parts of this finished first, and then we can actually build the factories themselves as we pull back with the RoboPorts, fill in this area with the factories. And what I'll probably do is divert this main line at some point as well. Well, actually, I'll do a landfill for the where both of the main lines are going to go. So the main lines are going to be diverted into this central area in here. It's going to take a little bit of work to move some of these connections. But maybe we'll try and actually avoid some of these ore patches that are coming up. Well, they're not. I mean, in relation to some of the other ones that are further out, these patches are not really that big. 26 seems like a lot, but when you compare it to what's the bigger one out here somewhere? 91, for example. There's 100 plus over here somewhere as well. This one, that's the iron, 177. That's almost done, apart from all the modules. So I think that's probably enough landfill. Actually, I didn't need any landfill at all, did I? Oh no, I did for the labs. Whoa, look at all them robots. Where are you guys coming from? Okay. Do I leave it like that, or do I put another strip in? I think we put in a few. How much more do we have to go there? There's not a huge amount to go. We're going to start building out the rest of the factory pretty soon. So we'll put in a few. We don't need to put in a lot of RoboPorts here. Stop the doubling back a little bit. There's a bit of a queue waiting for charging positions on those RoboPorts. Oops. That's fine. So I think it's this entire patch of water needs to be filled in. Is that water? What is that? Is that just a rock? Okay, so rocks, those big rocks actually show up in the map. That's water. Is there water there as well? There's got to be water there as well. Right there, there's got to be water. Yeah, it is. There is a small chance I've actually missed a few patches when I was doing the science area as well. We'll check that out later on. That is just about done, the science. Trick is get the map view lined up first, then grab the blueprint. It's a little bit hard to see what you're doing otherwise. That's ready for copying the science now. Not the science, the labs. Are we actually short on roboports, or is it just a charging issue that's causing that? I wouldn't be surprised if it's a shortage of roboports. I thought we had plenty of those. Although no, probably not, because I've used a bunch of roboports in here. That's probably where all the missing roboports are. Might take a little bit longer. So as we actually pull out some of these roboports down the bottom, we'll actually fill those ones in the top, so that's not a huge concern. That's probably why these ones haven't gotten built as well. So what we might do is actually go through and remove some of the roboports that aren't getting used anymore over here in the middle. These ones in here aren't getting much use anymore. I don't want to remove all of them, but get rid of some of them. Actually, probably most of these can get removed. I don't think it'll hurt too much. Let's also put... actually, what we'll do, let's get rid of my personal roboports. Let the network pick those up. I might actually have a quick peek at Roboport production. See if we can speed it up a little bit. So that's one thing I underestimated for the expansion, was the number of Roboports required, because I just stockpiled the number that I actually needed for the new factory, which is not that many really. This is way more actually placed on the map for building purposes than for the actual factory itself. Well, this science has a decent number of Roboports in it. I think it's probably fairly safe at this point to start building in the green circuits. I think we can at least build in the top of it. We're going to be missing modules for a while, but that's not a huge concern. It's not going to be actually producing anything for a little while. We'll get the labs plugged in first though. So if we just take all of that, should be enough. And I'm pretty sure that's not going to have Roboport coverage, so we'll just put down a few of these. Which actually, the issue then is that we don't have those Roboports. Yeah, let's have a quick try back down to the where the Roboports are getting made and see if we can actually speed that up a little bit. It might just be a matter of adding in some speed modules. I don't need this landfill anymore either, so let's dump that out. I think Roboports was down the bottom here somewhere. There it is. Missing advanced circuits. Okay. There is a solution to that. Just have to remember to change it back later on. Request from buffer chests. This steel request is a little bit out of control. What's the actual number we need? Not that many. That's yeah, that request is a little bit ambitious. Let's go 500 for each of those. Let's actually split that. Get rid of that. Do that instead. And then put in some speed modules, which I probably don't have. And yeah, request from buffer chests as well there. Stop loading red circuits, damn you. Stop it, stop it. Okay. No, I said stop it. Oh, that's grabbed all those. It's those requests that used to be on this chest that have now still getting filled because the request was so big. Has it finally finished putting red circuits in there? Okay. It's actually steel that it's waiting on now. Each one of these actually needs its own request, its own request to chest to be operating full speed. Oh, it's actually saying we're backed up on Roboports. Actually, it's a good sign. Yes, that's why is it not getting built out? Oh, it's probably just we don't have radar coverage there. I think it already is built out. Good, that's all getting built out. The Roboports should go in here pretty soon. We're actually getting signs coming through, which will actually be fine. It'll back up pretty quickly. I've actually got this disconnected, so it's not actually going to start doing signs. it'll just put it onto the belts and back up, be ready to go when we've actually got all the resources coming to the factory. But yeah, I think we're right to start actually doing the factory itself now. The steel, green circuits, red circuits and processing units. And then also finish off this rail section at the top. Which we don't have roboport coverage for. Oh, that's actually a million miles away. We'll probably just set up a defensive wall up there while we're getting this new factory installed. I'm gonna leave the car. The distances involved are pretty big at this point as well. It might be worthwhile setting up some sort of train loop just within the factory itself, just to make getting around a little bit quicker. It's a little bit hard to actually get somewhere in a hurry if we want to. What do you think you're doing? Temporary fix. How's it going otherwise? Just waiting on labs. Again, some of these things I didn't actually stockpile, like labs is one of them. I just assumed that production would be good enough to meet demand. It'll take a little while for that to get filled, I would guess. Although there's a chance that I don't actually have lab production installed anywhere. Let's have a quick look through. I may never have reinstalled lab production. I think that is so. I don't think we've got labs getting made. Well, look at that logistics network, 1,434 cells. Yeah, no labs getting made, so we'll head back down. Set up lab production. Kill some pipes. What can we temporarily replace to put some labs into production here? Oh, actually, we can get rid of some of these gears now. We don't need so many gears. We'll only need one factory making labs as well. Labs. That looks fine. Go for a few stacks. Actually, and to speed things up a little bit, make it a request to chest. Is there anything there that's going to be difficult? No, everything should be fine. Green circuits. Although the request sizes will cause issues, so let's make that smaller. We don't really want to request that much stuff there. That's all we really need, I think, for that. Labs, yeah, it's really modules that we're going to be waiting for, I think, mainly. Again, what I might do is, once we've got most of this stuff down, I might actually let the game run in the background for a few hours just so we can accumulate those modules that we needed. Oh, I just realised as well, the reason why those modules aren't getting filled, we might actually have a lot of those modules because I didn't actually change those chests over to passive providers. So we will change, we'll change one of them over to a passive provider. That'll get some of the modules in place. And also one of the productivity ones as well. And also, the beacons have already been changed. I think everything else has already been changed over to a passive provider. That should see some modules getting put in place now. Yeah, you see the speed's already going in. Almost done with the labs. That was pretty quick. I think everything else is in place there. We've already got a rocket coming out. It shouldn't trigger though. Actually, it will trigger. It'll fill this chest up. We're going to get some slightly inefficient rocket launchers here. I should actually manually grab some prods and put those up there just in case. Well, it's too late for those first few rockets, but any future rockets will be a little bit more efficient in terms of resource usage. So yeah, I think tomorrow we'll be finishing off building the second factory, and then we'll do some designs for the outpost just to make outposting a little bit faster. Oh, so we've got the prods. Have some prods, please. We've already launched a rocket. This is just going to back up in there. It's not going to offload, so that should be deactivated. I think I've got it set to 2K, less than 2K. So we've got a few rocket launches there, but that's fine. And also we want prods in all of the labs as well, but it looks like that's mostly filled out with prods as well. Excellent. Still plenty of requests for modules waiting there, but yeah, we can start actually building at this factory down the bottom. What's wrong? But I'm actually called there for the day. I'm pretty happy with the amount of work we've got done there. There's a few bits we need to clean up on the top of the train stations. Most of the belts have been done, at least through the bus area. Science and labs pretty much done. We just need to build out the factories, and then we can start doing the main line for the second factory. And it's also going to take a little bit of clearing as well. So at some point we'll have to go up and actually clear out all these spawners. But I'm going to leave it there for now. I'll be back tomorrow about the same time. Until then, I will see you guys next time.